Hi everyone, myself Shane and Barry John Martin. I'm from the author of the Heaven series, 26 books. First book just been launched, Barry, this last week, Heaven's Child. 26 books over the last 10 years. So a little bit about your book, Barry, a little bit about Heaven's Child before we move forward.
Heaven's Child is about my father in spirit, a dead person, coming to talk to me and ask for my forgiveness for abandoning me when I was a 5-year-old child, left my mother and me, abandoned us, and he wanted forgiveness. It's a bit like Ghost, if you've seen the film Ghost. So the spirit comes into the body of the medium and wants to embrace me and fondle me, and the medium is 85, old lady. And but this old lady, she's real dear, my friend Shula, and she's putting her arm around me and she's hugging me and she's rubbing my back and she's saying, "What lovely hands you've got. I remember these when they were a baby." So it's all Ghost. Just think of the film Ghost. It's exactly the same.
I know that many of those encounters with Shula were transcribed, recorded as well, aren't they? A lot of conversations.
Yeah, 35 cassette. I think we had 35 hours of recording.
Transcripted.
And all transcripted, word for word, and with all the emotions built in.
Wow.
3 books. Heaven's Child, Heaven's World, and Heaven's Kingdom. And Heaven's World is about to be published.
Yes, about to be released in the next little while. Amazing, very exciting. I know that I've read Heaven's Child, and it takes you on a journey. It really is very raw, very real, and it kind of, I know it opens up a lot of thought about so many of the experiences that we've all had, but from a completely another perspective. I found it very touching, very emotional.
The interesting thing is my father was in Australia, in Melbourne, I believe, and he was just a couple of years old, and he was playing in an upstairs bedroom with his brother, who was about 5 years old, and somehow he managed to get on top of the chest of drawers, through a closed window, and threw himself out onto the railings below, so the railings spiked him through his forehead. I had a metal plate put in, and everybody thought he was a strange child as he grew up.
Yes.
And he was just very strong-willed, very intelligent, very capable. And he wanted to come back and put the record back, but he wasn't crazy because of the fall.
Yes.
See, he was eccentric because he had a lot of exciting ideas going around in his head.
Yes. And you can kind of, you can feel that. I know. I absolutely. It takes you on the journey. The book absolutely takes you on the journey.
And I'm not that keen to know my father again. I haven't met him since I was 16 years old.
Yes.
So he comes back into my life as a dead person 50 years later. And he wants to be all chummy. And I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm not keen.
No. Now, I know with some of the work that I do, of course, sometimes, someone comes to a grandfather, a father, a mother, and the person hasn't had contact with that person for such a long time, and it's rebuilding that relationship or building that relationship, and it's a whole journey in that, a whole lot of healing to uncover. And you've shared it in such a real and raw way. I mean,
it's very rich, very
rich.
And the book's also really like a mix of an adventure story and a magical mystery.
Yes.
So it's a mystery, but it's the magic of spirit. And if you don't believe in the dead, by the time you've read just the first book, it's just amazing. You cannot but believe in life after death.
No. I mean, the detail and, from a perspective of working with spirit for such a long time now, it's really grasped that, and I kind of found myself wanting to always turn the page.
An American lady couldn't wait to download the book, and she wrote on my Facebook page, "I'm just reading the first few pages now and I'm already crying."
speaks volumes. Absolutely speaks volumes. So
It is very powerful. The story is this man so needs to be forgiven. You know, how can you not forgive him? And I manage not to forgive him.
You know, there's a lot of truth in that. You know, there's a lot of truth in that. Is that actually, he's asking for forgiveness, and there's you trying to get your head around where that.
You're forgiven, you know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. See ya. No, it's not.
No, he said you've got to feel it. It's got to be genuine.
It's got to be innately coming from.
So the 3 books were a real battle for me to feel forgiveness for this gentleman.
Yes.
And it was tough.
No, that's amazing, and I really honour you for really bearing your soul in the way that you write as well. You know, it's very raw and it's very real. There's no fluffy edges around the book at all. The books, no, it's beautiful. And today we're going to share. Barry has a blog post that goes out regularly on his Facebook page, which is Barry John Martin Author, and regular blogs. And today we're going to talk about one of the blogs that you wrote that I kind of honed in on, which was all about wishful thinking. We're going to share some of that, Barry. What one inspired you to write it, and what's the message behind it? Let's see if we can share that.
Well, there was a religious gentleman on the Thought for the Day, and I was having a shave the other morning, and he said, of course this is all wishful thinking, we shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. We need positive action to help these people, earthquake victims, people starving. So wishful thinking won't get anything done. I was thinking about that, and I was thinking that the world is all energy, and it is wishful thinking that gets things done. It's it's counterintuitive, but even physics professors will tell you that we're made up of nothing but light.
Yes.
So we're energy, living in a world of energy, and if anything is going to move mountains in this world, it's wishful thinking.
It's for affects energy, affects the world around us.
Well, the world is made of thought.
Yes.
So it's God's thought that holds the universe together.
Yes.
So if he stopped thinking, the world would just disappear.
Yes.
So the universe is literally living inside the mind of God.
Yeah, I absolutely grasp that. I kind of know, I think we've shared before about some of the scientific experiments that have been done with thought and water, and how the water structure changes and directing thought. Well, that is an example of what you're saying is
even
wishful thinking.
Rocks and mountains are vaguely aware of you.
So if
you build a city at the bottom of a mountain, the mountain will eventually, very slowly, become aware of you.
Yes.
And if you're too much of a nuisance, then you could have an earthquake, you could have a flood, and it'll try and shake you off like an animal shaking off flea.
There is funny.
You have to respect the land. Sorry.
No. There is a book that was many years old now that talks about the living Earth, and the Earth being an entity, having intelligence of its own, and some of these natural disasters are really trying to find the balance. Absolutely. I think there's a lot to be said by that. But I remember, reading your blog and it jumping out at me and kind of, home in on that,
Well, it does need wishful thinking, does need explaining.
Yes.
There are 7 billion of us. We're not the only living force on the planet. We're one of them.
Yes.
There's rocks, there's other living beings, plant life, air, water.
Yes.
It's all living. So we're one element. Now, if all the human race thinks it's time we changed, the world will react.
Yes.
And the world changes.
Yes.
Now, on a smaller level, if everybody in your area wanted something, then it would come to pass. So it's a numbers game.
Yes.
But on top of all of that, we're all living in little bubbles of existence.
Yes.
So every living thing that comes to this world is living in its own bubble of existence, its own bubble of energy.
Yes.
So all 7 billion of us are cooperating to be humanity on this planet.
Yes.
But each of us is in our own, say all 7 billion is one human body.
Yes.
One entity of spirit, pretending to be human beings. Well, think each one of us is a cell of that body. Okay? Now, on top of that, each cell can go in its own direction within the body.
Yeah.
So, every second, there are millions of potential avenues for us to take.
Yes.
Now, this is where it really gets complicated. If you want something, and the other 7 billion don't,
Yes.
you won't get it. However,
Yeah.
if you want something and your vibration is high enough, you can move out of that 7 billion
Yes.
into one of your other potentials
Yes.
where you can have what you want.
Yes.
So it's not that the other 7 billion aren't letting you have it, it's you moving through a doorway into a potential existence where they're perfectly happy with you having it.
Yes.
Now, how do you live in a world where it's that complicated? But that's what we're moving into. We're becoming multi-dimensional beings.
Yeah.
So the next 2 or 3 centuries, this is who we're going to be. We're all going to be living our own individual lives within the whole,
Yes.
and we'll choose which doorway we want to live in, pass through. It's going to get very complicated.
And very, very, very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, you're just going to have to take guides and your angels with you, and you're going to have to say, look guys, help me with this,
Yes.
because you're never going to cope. I think people who live in the dark, and they sometimes fall through a doorway, take drugs.
Mm.
They raise their vibrations taking drugs, and they fall through a doorway, but they aren't taking their guides and angels with them because they're living negatively.
Yes.
And they go mad because they can't cope. They've got one foot. And we know somebody, don't we? No names. We know somebody who has had unusual experiences.
Absolutely.
But he's just slipping.
Yes.
Slipping sideways, upwards, downwards.
Yes.
And he's not anchored into where he is.
No, there's no kind of guidance in that, no kind of foundation.
And this is one of the reasons why people go mad.
Yes. You kind of, been around a lot of shamanic practices in my time, and those teachers have always said, kind of the power plants, ayahuasca. I know people have gone out to Peru and done ritual and ceremony in that way. Is the spiritual meeting that and the two working together, so therefore it's a safe practice. It's kind of blessed, it's divine, rather than kind of taking that and having no foundation or no direction. So yeah, no, that's absolutely true, absolutely right. You said, Barry, about kind of, thought. It's about 7 billion people. I was saying the other day in a video, and one of the greatest energies out there in the world right now is fear. It has this huge generational force and kind of locks people into that kind of vibration and kind of frequency.
Can I just stop you a second?
Yeah, no, do.
Imagine that you didn't want to live in fear,
Yeah.
and you opened a doorway where there was no war in the Middle East, where there was no ISIL, where there were no chemtrails in the sky, and you just moved through the door that suits you. So there's no chemtrails. Nobody's trying to poison you by jabbing you with vaccines which aren't what they are made out to be. Nobody's lying to you. The news broadcasts are all as it really is.
Yes.
But you just move through a doorway that suits you. But we're locked. We all think we're stuck here.
Yeah.
But this is only one potential existence.
Reality.
And we're all sharing the same soppy existence.
I think it's something huge. You're tapping into something huge there, because something new comes into your world or into your experience. You then go out into the world, you notice it everywhere.
Well, you move through a doorway where everything is exactly the same, but your boss loves you. Hang on, your wife loves you.
Different realities for different people, folks. That's what it's all about, different realities for different people. So kind of, bringing that all together, what we're saying, if I'm not wrong, Barry, is that there's power in thought, and kind of uniting that thought makes it even more powerful. You can
just think it. You say
you can create.
You say, I'm fed up with chemtrails. I don't want them anymore. Go away.
Yes.
Well, if enough of you think that way, the government will one day decide this chemtrails thing is silly. We'll stop doing it, and they'll think it's their idea. But it's because we live in an energy zone. Everything is just energy. So if enough of us think it, the government will think it.
So you start to affect. You start to create a ripple effect.
You don't have to send anybody an email. You don't have to send a letter to the Times.
You just think it. For manifestation. Well, there you go. This is Barry John Martin, author of the Heaven series. Heaven's Child is out. Next book, Heaven's World.
And then Heaven's Kingdom.
And then Heaven's Kingdom. Watch out, Heaven's World is coming soon. You can find the book on Amazon. Also, you can find it on Barry's website, which is all the w's.heavenseries.com. Barry's Facebook page is Barry John Martin Author. Watch out for his daily blog. Watch out for his videos. They're always interesting and very, very enlightening and humorous. This is Barry John Martin. Thank you, guys. See you all very soon. Bye-bye. Bye.